Hey guys, this is a Neverending Reader. I am Brittany, and this is the millionth time I'm filming this because I keep getting cut off. So, welcome to my November wrap-up. I'm just going to quickly go through this since I've already literally said all this stuff 900 times. So, the first book that I read in the month of November was Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. I'm not going to go into this at all. It was 5 stars. I reread these every single year, and it was fantastic as usual. The second book that I read in the month of November was The Dreadful Tale of Prosper Redding by Alexandra Bracken. This is a middle grade, but it doesn't really feel like a middle grade. So this is about a boy named Prosper Redding, and he lives in this little town that kind of really feels like old-timey, even though it's not. And in this town, his entire family is like very important. So the Reddings had basically discovered this town long ago, and his grandmother is the mayor, I think, and so he's just considered like very important, but everybody treats him like very badly, and nobody really likes him, including his family. The only person that is really kind to him is his sister. And one day, Prosper and his sister show up to their grandmother's house, and all of their family has gathered, and basically what they do is they try to kill Prosper, and he finds out the reason for that is because he has a demon living inside him. And so the story like kind of follows Prosper figuring out why there's a demon inside him, where it came from, how to get it out of him, while he's on the run from his family who is trying to kill him. So I thought that this was very good, especially for a middle grade, and I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. So I would definitely recommend that if you are looking for kind of like an eerie read, but not like scary. The third book that I read in the month of November was Empire of Storms by Sarah J. Maas. I did annotate this. I had a lot of feelings. I think this is the 5th book in the Throne of Glass series, and it was a 5-star for me. I enjoyed almost all of it. The only thing that I didn't love was the really cringy sex scenes, but otherwise I thought it was good. I thought that there was like questions that needed to be answered probably long before this book, and there was like some plot points from the past that were really relevant, and I just really enjoyed it. I thought that the pacing was very good. The character development was like so good, and I don't really want to spoil anybody, especially if you're just starting out in the series, so I'm not going to say anything about anything that I want to, because obviously I'm like in my feels about this. But the first book is called Throne of Glass, and it is about a girl who is imprisoned because she is an assassin, and one day the crown prince shows up to this prison and takes her out and rescues her in a way so that she can come back to the castle and basically battle between other assassins to take the title of, what's it called, the King's Champion. So she's like in this basically game where she's battling these other assassins for her freedom, kind of. So that's where the first book is, and then this is very different. The first book is almost irrelevant to the rest of the series, kind of, but I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, and I thought it was great. So the 4th and 5th book that I read in the month of November was Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares, both by Laini Taylor. I said this on Twitter, and I hate to say it because it actually pains me, but Strange the Dreamer is my favorite book of all time, and it hurts to say that because Harry Potter like held that title for me for so long, but I think it's just different. Like, this is my favorite book, but so is Harry Potter. I think it's just they're different types of love. So like, one is like my baby that I've like raised and nurtured, and that's Harry Potter, and then this is just like my new soulmate, basically. So this is a reread for me. Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares was not. It was absolutely fantastic. I gave both of them 5 out of 5 stars. I recommend them to literally anybody on earth. Please go read them. They're great. They're fantasy. They're young adult. And they just hold such a special place in my heart. So if you guys don't know what Strange the Dreamer is about, I'll give you a quick summary as well as I can because it's very difficult to explain. So Strange the Dreamer starts out by following this young man named Laszlo Strange, and Laszlo is an orphan, and as a young boy he was always obsessed with this city, and it's like a mythical city that nobody has been to or come from in like hundreds of years, and this city is just almost like Atlantis in a way, where like you've heard about it and heard like how magical it is, but nobody's really been there, so you don't know kind of if it's real or not. So ever since he was a young boy, Laszlo has been just crazy obsessed with this city, and one day he's playing outside and he just forgets the name of the city, and in place of the name is the word weep. And this happens to everybody in the world, so suddenly to every single person in this world, this city is called Weep now, even though that was not the original name. It just disappeared from their brains. And so Laszlo like kind of makes it his life mission to learn more about the city, and he becomes a librarian, and he just does a ton of research about this city. And one day, as a young man, a convoy from the city of Weep, shows up in his town and is like, hey, Weep is real and we need help because we have this issue, and can you please come? So he's handpicking these just absolutely random people to come with him back to Weep and fix whatever problem it is that they have. And Laszlo is one of the people that is chosen, and he goes there, and that's about as much as I can tell you. So this series is absolutely fantastic, and Muse of Nightmares was, I didn't love it as much as Strange the Dreamer, but that does not mean that it's not good. It was good. It was just the things that I loved about Strange the Dreamer didn't really carry over into Muse of Nightmares, but I was okay with it. I think that it was taken in a direction that I wasn't expecting, but I actually very much liked. And if you've ever heard about this book, you have heard about Laini Taylor's absolutely stunning writing, and that is very true for the second book, Muse of Nightmares, as well. It is beautiful, as beautiful as the first one. And I really, really, really recommend it to anybody who loves fantasy. And the last book that I read in the month of November was A Study in Charlotte by Brittany Cavallero. Let me double check that because I don't have the book in front of me. Brittany Cavallero, yeah. So I will put a cover title thing right here if editing Brittany is on top of her shit. If not, sorry. A Study in Charlotte follows Jamie Watson and Charlotte Holmes, and they are these teenagers, and they are descendants of Sherlock Holmes and whatever Watson. Spoiler alert, I've never read anything about Sherlock Holmes in my life before this moment, so to me this story was just like a mystery, like a YA mystery, where these two young characters are basically on a quest to like find out who's framing them for murder. I loved it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I think that there's like not really a whole lot to know about it aside from that it's like a mystery, and it's like kind of in the Sherlock, well, it is in like the Sherlock universe type thing, but I'm absolutely going to carry on the series, and it made me want to read Sherlock Holmes, like the original one, so I think you will be seeing me doing that sometime in the new year. And yeah, I thought it was great. I thought Charlotte was like the most badass character of all time. She just was incredible. She was so smart, and they like did not shy away from some of the like very serious problems that Charlotte had, and things that she had gone through and stuff like that. It was just written very well, and I appreciated that, and I appreciated the author for kind of in young adult books, you don't really get almost like a true teenage experience, because it's like people think that teenagers like aren't doing bad shit or going through bad shit, and it kind of reflects that in young adult books where everything is kind of like, oh, I have, you know, a kind of sad love problem, or like a little bit bad family life, but like there's other like horrible stuff that teenagers go through or are put through, and I really appreciated that this book talked about that. So trigger warning definitely for rape scenes, not really where you like see them, but it is talked about. So maybe if that's not for you, then probably try to skip over those parts at least, or maybe don't read it. But I thought it was very, very good. 4 out of 5 stars, and I hope to read the second one either in December or January. So that is it, you guys. That was my November wrap-up. Hopefully you're seeing it, because I have a tendency to make videos and then never put them online. So if you guys have read any of the books that I mentioned, feel free to comment below or DM me in any of the social medias that I link in the description, and I will catch you in the next video.